Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. My wife and I went to Video Game Summit, just an incredible gaming con in the Chicago area. And while we were there, the day before we went, we checked out Galloping Ghost, which bills itself as the world's largest arcade with more than 800 machines. Just an incredible place. I got to meet the owner, Doc Mack, and Pete Hahn, one of the workers there. Thanks guys for letting me tour this incredible arcade. I just go through row by row, commenting on some of the machines, some of the games. There's a lot of rare stuff there, a lot of really incredible stuff there. It's got a great vibe. So let's check out this arcade, but very briefly, if you like this video, hit the like button, watch the video and then like it if you do. And if you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. It would be super helpful. Without further ado, let's check out Galloping Ghost Arcade in Brookfield, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Just incredible. All right, guys, here we are at the legendary Galloping Ghost Arcade outside of Chicago. My first time here. I'm really excited to be here ahead of the Video Game Summit. Awesome. Let's go inside and take a look. Building itself as the world's largest arcade. Pretty cool. We're just going to go row by row and see what there is to see. There's a lot of rare games here. Here's where you pay your $20 admission to play free play all day. You can come and go as you please. You're going to see some games that you've never heard of, like Hopper Robo. Ninja Gaiden, the legendary NES game. This is the arcade version. Pingo, one of my favorites of all time. I used to love, or still do, love this on the Atari 5200, the original arcade version, and looking in really nice shape. Beautiful marquee. Quake is usually associated with being a computer game, but there you go. Arcade Tournament Edition. Love me some fighting games for sure. This place is hopping. I'm going to show you guys as much as I possibly can. It's really loud in here. It's fun, it's happening, it's exciting. And the machines are pretty close together, but there's just enough elbow room to get around and play comfortably. Some Mortal Kombat, now there's some Street Fighter. Tons of fighting games. Liquid Kids. So many games in this place that you just don't see anywhere else. Awesome. Kangaroo. Another game I played on the 5200 back in the day and still break out from time to time. Peter Packrat. Bet you guys haven't heard of that one. Let's go down this road. Blasteroids, a great sequel to Asteroids. Definitely spent a lot of time on that one. Asteroids Deluxe. They created this game specifically to have a more challenging version of Asteroids because people got to where they could master it and just play it for hours and hours. Wow, guys, this place is just hopping. Super fun. Black Widow, I played that ported on my PlayStation. Great game with Robotron-like controls. Phenomenal. Tempest, one of the all-time greats. Love me some Tapper. Domino Man, another game you don't see that often. And of course Tron, one of the all-time greats. Not rare, but incredibly awesome. Discs of Tron. Definitely harder to find arcade game than Tron. Love it, love it. Crater Raider. Not going to name all the games because there's just so many. Journey, very underrated, I think. I sucked at Spy Hunter, but I love it. Wizard of War was ported beautifully to the Bally Astrocade as the Incredible Wizard. Great maze shooter. Love it. You can't tell I'm having a great time being here. And I really want to thank Doc Mack and Pete Hahn and everyone at Galloping Ghost for treating me just so well, so hospitable. A lot of you guys probably saw played Sinistar and Bubbles on the Williams Classics collections for various machines, for various consoles. Make Tracks, one of Walter Day's favorite games of all time, and he had the world record at one point on it. Robotron shows up in so many lists of favorite games of all time. Really eager for the new Moon Patrol coming to the Amico. Now Joust, pretty common game. Joust 2, not so much. Not as smooth of a gaming experience as Joust, but pretty cool. Trog, love this on the NES. The arcade version definitely has some differences. This place is just staggering in its scope. Let's go down another row here. Nice touch above the Dragon's Lair machine. Pretty cool. And got a nice row of Nintendo games here. Love me some Popeye. Played it a ton on the NES and ColecoVision. Most people associate Super Mario Brothers with the NES, of course, but it is in the arcades as well. Marquee not showing up too well there. Strange glare on it. And the original Mario Brothers. I've spent more time playing the original Mario Brothers probably than all the other Super Mario Brothers games combined, even though I love them all. Just back in the day, we played so much two-player Mario Brothers. Such greatness. More fighting games. Soul Calibur 2, the original, of course, was a Dreamcast classic. It's nice when you get two games in one, Super Pac-Man and Junior Pac-Man. Super Pac-Man, underrated, I think. Some people don't like it, think it's a little clunky, but I love it. And Junior Pac-Man, definitely more challenging than Pac-Man. All kinds of oddball games in here. Freeze. Can't possibly look at every single game today, but I'm going to try to give you guys as good a look at this arcade as possible. Let's see, let's go around this way. Neogeo row. Pretty cool. Lots of Neogeo. If you grew up with Intellivision, you probably played some Burger Time. Great version. Every arcade has Galaga, of course. Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I played that on the PSP. Flicky, one of my favorite Genesis games. Just a real simple arcade game, ported wonderfully to the Genesis. Up and Down. I found a copy of this on the 2600 for $10 at Retropalooza in a box under a dealer's table. Sold it for 250 or 300 and something on eBay. Not the best port on the 2600, but it's a great arcade game. Man, they're just rows and rows and rows of games. And we're not going to bother these guys. We're going to keep going this way. Like I said, you guys would be here all day if we looked at every machine, every row, and I talked about every game. But I want to go over some highlights and just kind of give you guys an idea of just the scope of this place. Sadie's Hollow, one of my favorite shooters of all time. I love that Tron style joystick. Also had a joystick like this on Gorf, and it's just great shooting action. Check it out. It is tons of fun. You build a bridge across the bottom to the right to get to another screen. Just by transporting bridge pieces across. Very cool idea for a game. Jungle King, aka Jungle Hunt. Frontline was a ColecoVision favorite. Very early type of run and gun. Kicks was ported well to the 5200. Frogger, man, me and my brother played this for hours and hours back in the day. Wow. Control! My daughter and I love playing Monkey Ball on the GameCube. One of the best games on the Atari 7800 is the Food Fight port. Fun action game. Speaking of run and gun, Commando. Most people associate Contra with the NES, but here's the arcade version. Final Fight. Rastan. I love playing this at the Bronco Bowl in Dallas before a concert I went to there one time. Neil Young. Castlevania, another game most people associate with the NES. Haunted Castle, much more rare than Castlevania. Other Konami game. Ooh, Splatterhouse. Most people associate this with the TurboGrafx. Yeah, everybody knows Qbert. But what about Qbert, the faster, harder, more challenging version? And Qbert's Cubes. This was actually a ColecoVision game, ported to the ColecoVision by Parker Brothers. Rare cartridge and rare arcade game. Speaking of rares, they're all over. Oh, Tutankhamun. Loved this on ColecoVision. Love the arcade version too. Frenzy had a great port on the ColecoVision. Berserk was on the 5200 with voice effects. Awesome. The End, just very obscure. Turtles was ported nicely to the Odyssey 2. Scramble and Super Cobra in one cabinet. I love that. Phenomenal side-scrolling shooters. There's the attract mode for Super Cobra.
Is in your hands.
Great stuff.
Unlock.
Millipede and Centipede. My wife's favorite game of all time is Centipede, for sure. Warlords, one of the greatest 4-player games of all time. And there's tons of families and here just having a blast. A couple of superhero games you don't see every day. Trio of them. Wow, check out this Tecmo Bowl. That is cool. Sorry, that was terrible. Mario Kart. Just row after row after row after row of games. You could easily spend the whole day here. Ooh, one of my favorite superhero games of all time. Ported nicely to the Genesis. I like that port. Zaxxon, a game you see from time to time in the arcades. Much rare is Super Zaxxon, which offers very similar gameplay. Ladybug. Wow, this is one of my favorite ColecoVision games. Probably my favorite ColecoVision game. And it's such a beautiful port. I love the arcade version, of course. Now you see Mr. Do from time to time in arcades or at retro gaming convention. Mr. Do's Castle, not nearly as often. It's a climbing game or non-scrolling platformer, whereas the original Mr. Do was a maze game. Got any Alex Kidd fans here? Tell me all about it if you are.
Yeah, because you work, you gotta be.
Everybody's obviously having a great time here today.
Yeah, I know. We haven't said like anything. Doesn't work like that.
Another game people associate with the NES, track and field. Hopping Mappy. Not just Mappy, but hopping. Super Burger Time. Crazy. All right, this is a darker part of the arcade. Probably won't spend much time here. Just want to show you guys the scope of this place. It goes on and on. So many freaking games. Well, doesn't look too bad. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. Guerrilla War. I discovered this game on the NES. Great port. Run and gun action. Midnight Resistance. Who remembers this on the Genesis? I remember it being a Contra sort of wannabe. Not a bad game. Pitfall 2, The Lost Caverns, in the arcades. Maybe some of you didn't even know this was in the arcades. A little high score info there for you guys, you competitive gamers. Bonk's Adventure arcade version. Most of you guys remember this on the TurboGrafx. There was an NES version too. All right, I have backed myself into a corner here. Let's move around over here. Yes, they do have more modern type machines, you can see. All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. Or do you want to go a little bit more? Want to go a little further? We should probably wrap it up. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're ever in the Chicago area, you should definitely check out Galloping Ghost, owned by Doc Mack. Ooh, Trojan. That was a cool NES game. Ported to the NES. Yeah, check out Galloping Ghost. Definitely one of the most impressive arcades I've ever been to. Definitely have some of the just crazy rare games, all kinds of interesting stuff. Games I haven't seen since back in the 80s and even late 70s. Uh-oh, Star Castle's not working. That's a sign it's time to sign off. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let me know in the comments if there are any games in particular that you saw that stand out. Maybe something you haven't seen since you were a kid, or maybe your favorite game. Just let me know in the comments. Let me know also if you've been to Galloping Ghost. I'd love to hear, just your experience going there. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. We will talk to you in another video. If you're a fan of my work, you might want to consider supporting me on Patreon. For just a low fee each month, you get a lot of extra content. Another way to support the channel and my writing career is to buy books direct from me, including the 100 Greatest Console Video Games, the Classic Home Video Game Series. It's like an encyclopedia set. And this massive bad boy, the NES Omnibus Volume 1 A through L. I will put links in the description of this video where you can buy books direct from me and where you can support me on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.